Good afternoon, everybody. Just jumping on the danschani.com YouTube stream to talk about some of these Packer cuts that have occurred on this Tuesday, August 29th. I currently am not sure if I am employed or not. So what better way to spend my time than talking about people that have also joined me in that sphere of life. The biggest news, the biggest NFL news of the afternoon is that Jonathan Taylor has not been traded. Jonathan Taylor will remain with the Colts for now, but they are putting him on the PUP list. He had that injury or whatever. He's on the physically unable to perform list, so he can't play the first 4 games of the season. He'll miss Jacksonville, Houston, Baltimore, and the Rams. I don't think this is a make or break situation for the Colts and for their Super Bowl run. But for me, who exploited in one of my dynasty leagues, Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor, I just frantically rushed to sign Deion Jackson, but I guess our waivers are locked at this current time. That I really need him now, as I put a lot of eggs into the basket that Jonathan Taylor would come back. And I was wrong, and that is a bummer. So I got to figure that out. So that's the big NFL news. There were some other trades. Albert O, this tight end from Denver, who had flashes that he could be Denver's next big guy. Greg Dulcich kind of took over that mantle last year. He's been traded to the Eagles. Packers may have had some interest. The Eagles also picked up that dude that was suspended for the Colts, their cornerback. This cornerback is gambling, and they cut his ass. And then we don't know how long the suspension is going to be, so the Eagles pick him up. And then they'll just ride the suspension and have a pretty decent cornerback when he comes back. So the Eagles doing some good stuff over there in Philadelphia. Evan Hull is another guy. That is a good steal, AJ. Evan Hull had a nice preseason. Best ball steal. I have to pick him up for regular as well. And thank you to M Shark for joining on this semi-impromptu YouTube live. If you are here and notice that I'm wearing the same shirt, I need to shower. I desperately need to shower. All right, so let's take a look at who some of the Packers are that have been released, and then more importantly, some of the Packers that have made the team. I think all these preseason darlings, these guys that we were looking at in the preseason and saying, man, it'd be really cool if they made the team. I don't know that there's room for them. Some of these undrafted guys, the Packers do always tend to keep undrafted guys, but do they ever really at least one a year? But how many are they going to take this year? The Packers are going to keep, it looks like, according to his Instagram, Emmanuel Wilson. So he was that running back that had a massive game 1, the big long run, and then they gave him more time against better units, had an incredible block, which may have won him the job against Seattle in pass protection. So Emmanuel Wilson has made the club. Elsewhere, we did see Malik Heath make the team. Malik Heath was one of these wide receivers, rather, that looked like he was going to make the team. He had become kind of a favorite target of both quarterbacks, and he has made the team. And then Bucks, the edge rusher, has also made the team. So those were a few of the not surprises, but at the beginning of camp, would you have said they're going to make the team? You would have said, who are these people? Now they're all darlings and they've all made the team. Matt feels like we just had a stream 5 minutes ago. May also be a Brewer one tonight if they go 10 in a row. If they're chasing those George Webbs, I'm going to be chasing those 40 viewer lives. Cone Roller's back. Always good to see Cone. What's up?
Hey, Bart. Wearing the same thing as yesterday as well.
I just didn't get around a shower. I wanted to mow my lawn, and then I took a nap.
So what do we think of this Packers roster heading into week 1? Where are you confident? Where are you curious? Where are you concerned?
Okay, good one. I am confident that they are building towards something. So you saw with a lot of their decisions, like they kept the younger punter. They kept the younger, well, right now they don't have a long snapper. We'll get into all those juicy details in just a moment.
Snappergate.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But I think, as we said, Bakhtiari might be the oldest guy on this team. I'm confident that they're building towards something, that they have a vision. That's what I'm confident in. I'm concerned. What am I concerned in? I'm concerned. M Shark says you should be concerned about Malik Heath's DUI.
I was in Bukowski's mentions talking about it.
But that jungle.
Yeah, seriously, holy shit. All I said is that a DUI is not nothing. And then there's people that are like, oh, he was young, it was a mistake, which I get. The guy deserves a second chance, but Pete's just like brushing off a DUI like it's like the state of Wisconsin. It's just a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, we hear these stories about a guy with his 7th DUI, and we're like, oh, Jerry.
Good for him. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, my uncle has 9.
So where are you concerned?
Where am I concerned? How good are we?
I think kicker is a concern right now.
Yeah, but remember Anders Carlson had that 57-yard field goal, and Packers won the preseason Super Bowl.
True. That was a good kick. I'll give it to him. He stepped up in the moment. Still a little worried about him. I think you give him the first half of the season. If he's, making 70%, all right. If he's just a total train wreck or just doesn't look to have it, I think you bring in a Crosby or some other vet.
It is weird special teams wise. Like, they were so bad that they hired last year Rich Bisaccia to be this guy to change everything. And then, we signed these guys like Dallin Levitt or whoever just to like specifically play special teams. And then Rodgers leaves. And then the next year we're like, all right, still do good on like the coverage, which barely exists anymore. But we are going to give you the most green punter and kicker that is involved in this league. All these other teams are trading for veteran kickers, but we are going to Will Lutz is a Bronco. Nick Folk has traded 2 kicker trades to the Titans. Browns at a kickers trade this week. And we're just like, hey, Bisaccia, make this Play-Doh into the statue of David. Thanks for the courtesy laugh.
That was a good one.
Thank you. More people talking about Cone Roller, who's joined us so very nicely. If the Packers make the playoff, Cone needs to remove the bag.
Hell no. I said championship.
Yeah, we need a title before we see Cone's beautiful. Cone won't even stay on the stream when I appear. He is a little bitch. That's from Matt. You guys.
The stream just gets a little hectic when there's a lot of people and,
And then what am I curious in? What am I curious in?
Yeah, very curious.
I'm really curious to see like how Jordan Love looks against the Bears and against a defense that's been feasting to the Bears for the last 6 months. How much do you think has been install of defense? How much do you think it is we have to beat Jordan Love? We fucking have to.
Like on the Bears side?
Yeah, I think the Bears throw everything they got at him.
I mean, they might as well, just because I don't know what are Bears fans' expectations for this year? Is it division title? I think from what I've seen, that's kind of where Bears fans expect to be.
Yeah, I think they just think that Justin Fields is going to be the second coming.
I don't think he'll quite be the second coming. Like I don't see him having a Jalen Hurts type of season, but
that's what Bears fans think.
I think he'll be a lot better. And I mean, he's still a dynamic player. It's, he gets called a running back a lot. Granted, there's some validity to that, but it's still a weapon to, have those legs.
Bears fans think in week 1, Fields is going to be so good and Love's going to be so bad that Love is going to like ask for quarterback advice after the game. That's what the Bears fan thinks. It's pretty revolting. And I don't like it.
I'm just getting pinged all over the place at work.
Yeah, what the hell? Isn't it your lunch break?
Yeah. Just wanted to jump on here for a quick, 10, 15 minutes. But
Things
like
never
this,
stop.
like this Packers roster, I think Grant was talking about this the other day. There's not really any gaping holes, going into this season. So they're young, they're inexperienced. I think the receiving core has a lot to prove. The main thing they need to prove is that they can at least stay on the field and be healthy. So I think we just got to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of hype these last couple weeks from preseason. I think Packers win 8 games at the most. And with that, Bart, I will leave you. Go Pack, go, baby.
Cone, we'll see you. M Shark says, what about safety? That's a hole. Yeah. If we had to, yes. We don't know who's starting there. Probably Rudy Ford, maybe Savage, some combination of Owens, who I don't believe has been released. Let me do what everyone is doing and go to Andy Herman, who's been like, I should just go watch him. He's been great. A couple of guys the Packers have cut. Matt Orzich, the long snapper, who they're going to re-sign. What they're going to do is one of these guys that they're going to keep today, they're going to put on the injured reserve or the PUP list, and then that'll free up a roster spot. He's a vested veteran, so nobody can take him. So there is a procedural move, as Craig Counsell always says during the beginning of the season. He always says, it's just the initial roster. It's not the roster for the season. You remember that. And I think the Packers have to look at it the same way. Other names: Cole Schneider, Lou Nichols, Jason Luan, Cody Crest, Austin Allen, who almost had a job open up for him when Tyler Davis went down. It does seem to appear that the Packers want to bring in a tight end of some kind, veteran, maybe release or otherwise. We'll update on that a little bit later. Gene Delance, that's a fake name. Nate McCrary, Keandre Thomas, Shamar Jean Charles is a little bit of a surprise, as that was a draft pick from not too long ago in the cornerback situation room. He was, a 5th round pick in 2021. So he loses out with the emergence of Valentine, but not Ballantyne, who I believe was cut. Ennis Gaines, Tyrell Ford, Benny Sapp, who had the big interception on Saturday, ended the game. Big interception, great moment. Does not make the team. Dre Miller, Kadeem Telfort, Deuce Watts, Broughton Hatcher, William Hooper, James Empey, Ballantyne, Tarvarius Moore, Slayton, and Marvin. So they are continuing to remove some guys from this lineup. Matt in the Falls, who is now joined after Cone and is in some nice apparel. Where is this? What is this?
What video? Quiet, please. What video games you been playing lately, chum?
Oh, geez. I got to get into the new Madden.
How do I get this off?
Scissors. This is the Rottweiler.
In the flesh. Yeah, the Rottweiler.
Yep. He's giving you like $100, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yep.
You're giving me some money for being on this thing. That's for damn sure.
Well, God, with that suit, I mean, 100's a drop in the bucket.
Yep. First time he's ever worn it, and he looks good. Let me tell you.
How do I cut the thing?
Scissors.
What is happening?
We're going to Chicago for a really nice dinner. One of our friends is pretty high up at one of the best restaurants in the world, so we're going to eat there.
Oh,
no big deal.
No, God, no.
Yeah, just I don't really have anything to say. Just wanted to hop on and say hello, say what's up. I'm really excited about the Packers. I don't know who you're talking about. These guys.
I mentioned a lot of names I'm not familiar with.
I have no idea who these people are, but I'm really excited for the Packers season. That's all I got.
Well, you have a good, safe drive.
I will.
That's so nice. Wow, I just saw you in cutoffs.
I know, and now I'm wearing I don't have the full suit on now, but it's going to look sharp. Let me tell you.
Where are you eating? Where is this place?
It's called Oriole, like the bird.
Yeah. Where is it? What kind of food?
Really fancy food at $450 a person without alcohol.
Can you hook a brother up for my anniversary?
We'll talk later. I don't know. This you're more of a hot dog and burgers kind of guy, and this is not hot dogs and burgers. So we can talk off the air. But I gotta go.
Oh, okay, right on the other side of the river there, right by the. Okay.
Yep.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you, man.
Yep.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for all
We'll be
your
at the next
support.
tailgate.
These portions look so tiny.
It's a tasting menu. See, there's like 15 courses.
But
it's all like Wagyu beef and king crab and stuff like that.
Oh, good for you, and congrats to your friend.
Yep, thanks. See you, buddy.
Well, see ya. What a shocking development. That is a definite must-see on the Dan Schani YouTube stream. Assuming I publish this as audio, which I probably will. I don't know what I'm doing on the show yet. And if this is the show, well, then you're like, Bart, stop saying all your thoughts out loud. I'll catch up on some of these other Packer cuts in a minute. Some of the other cuts throughout the league. The Patriots just cut Bailey Zappi. So I believe that leaves them with Malik Cunningham as their backup quarterback. They like what they saw out of him in camp. And they also used him as some of those other like receiver sets. So maybe they try to do that. But Bailey Zappi's on the market if anybody wants him. Colt McCoy's on the market, gone from Arizona. Badgers legend Corey Clement, Super Bowl champion, is off the Cardinals. Chris Blair, he was a Packer. He's no longer a Falcon. The Ravens cut Melvin Gordon. I used him a lot as a comparison this year. The Ravens signed an aging 30-year-old wide receiver and gave him $15 million. The Ravens signed a 30-year-old running back and only gave him $3 million to show the disparity of the market. And now Melvin Gordon's been cut. Grant wants to know, what's your take on the Packers cutting Mike Coxsmall? He looked great in camp. Oh, no, you wait a minute. Oh, you nasty boy. You know who I liked better was Mike Ox. Very hard to see, especially after I take a shower. Got some problems. A lot of pop-up ads have been very speaking to me. All right. Who else got released? Oh, Bills, Andy Isabella, Darrington Evans. Panthers, linebacker Deion Jones. Wow. And they cut guard Michael Jordan. So that's 2 Jordans that have flamed out of Charlotte in the last year. Because Michael Jordan's a terrible owner and nobody ever thinks about it. Packers do have their 53 out, so let me go through just some more of these cuts real quick. The Bears, PJ Walker, Alex Leatherwood. The Bengals, Trevor Siemian. So it'll be Jake Browning if Burrow's hurt. The Browns, anybody else interesting? Albert O, but he was traded. Ben DiNucci, XFL champ. Christian Kirksey, Packers legend, gone from Houston. Kenyon Drake, gone from the Colts. Snoop Connor, gone from the Jaguars. The Raiders cut Damian Williams. The Chargers cut Max Duggan, TCU. The Rams cut Royce Freeman. The Dolphins cut Robbie Anderson and Myles Gaskin and Kiki Kute. 2 of those 3 guys were supposed to be Packers for some reason at one time. Anybody else interesting? Jonathan Abram, he was a former Raider, former Packer. He's been cut by the Saints. James Robinson and Cole Beasley have been cut by the Giants. Oh, no, the Jets got a bunch of guys that I'm not too familiar with because Hard Knocks wouldn't show them. They didn't want that part of the story. But Tim Boyle is gone. Trey Sermon had a monster preseason, and he gone from the Eagles. Greg Ward, the former quarterback out of Houston, turned wide receiver. He's gone too. Tackle Charlton from the Niners. It's an injury settlement. Any other names stick out here? A couple of kickers. Jake Fromm from the Commanders. All right. 53-man roster. The Packers can start building their player practice squad, by the way, on Wednesday. Sean Clifford and Jordan Love are the quarterbacks. Released as Alex Magoo. No surprise there. Maybe they get him on the practice squad, but Clifford really took over and won that job, the backup job. 3 running backs, Dylan, Emmanuel Wilson, and Aaron Jones. Lou Nichols, Tyler Goodson, Patrick Taylor, Nate McCrary, all gone. 6 receivers, Watson, Reed, Tavion Wicks, Malik Heath, Torrey, and Dubs. That means Grant Dubose does not make the cut. 3 tight ends, Luke Musgrave, Tyler Kraft, and Josiah DeGuara. 11 offensive linemen. I mentioned some of the names that did not make it, so that means it's Zach Tom, Rashid Walker, David Bakhtiari, Royce Newman, Josh Myers, Caleb Jones, Yash Nijman. People wanted him traded. Elton Jenkins, Sean Ryan, John Runyon, Luke Tenuta. Defensive line, Chris Slayton was released. TJ Slayton is not. Neither is Devontae Wyatt, Colby Wooden. Carl Brooks makes the team. Kenny Clark and Jonathan Ford. Outside linebackers, they did release the guy on the international exemption. I think they can get him back, which is a cool program. Otherwise, it's Justin Hollins, Rashawn Gary, Ngabari, who I think I keep saying him wrong, Brenton Cox, Lucas Van Ness, Preston Smith. Inside linebackers, a couple of guys released, but it's Quay Walker, Tariq Carpenter, Eric Wilson, Isaiah McDuffie, and Devondre Campbell. Cornerbacks, just 4 at this point. Just 4. Jair, Nixon, Douglas, and Valentine. Stokes is on the pup. They did release, as I mentioned, Shamar Jean Charles and Corey Ballantyne. And then 5 safeties. That's the big question. Benny Sapp and Ennis Gaines released. Tavarius Moore, injured reserve. Dallin Levitt, who we actually did talk about earlier. Rudy Ford, Savage, Owens, and Anthony Johnson Jr. all at safety. And then Carlson and Whelan. So of those, someone's going to be put on the injured list. And then the Packers will pick up their the safety they cut, or not the safety, the long snapper. So that is your Packers team circa 2023, at least for one day. Tony in Texas, always looking good.
Bart, hey, I'm at the doctor's about to get my prostate exam, so I just wanted
Let's
to
do it live.
So John and Franklin, the Sean O'Connell, get your prostate exam. I know your audience kind of leans a little bit younger, but
when are you supposed to get him? I'm almost 40. I'm 40 next year.
There you go. Hey, so
I got that mammogram.
I got about 2 minutes. Let me echo Matt from the Falls. Hey, kudos to him for that big tailgate. And also, he is cracking me up every time he's on your show. Matt is bringing it. Cone is bringing it. Everyone else, you got to start picking up the slack because these guys are bringing it every show, every episode. And I agree with Matt. I am pumped for the Packers. I don't know where this came from. Maybe I'm just having some kind of false type of excitement with Jordan Love and this change that I'm seeing in this youth movement. These players that they got in the skill positions, Bart, they got a little juice, man. This reminds me of Jennings and Jordy and James Jones and those guys and my guy Finley. This is some good stuff. And the O-line is solid. If Jordan Love is above average, this team's going to win 10 games and maybe win the North. What do you think?
Well, Cone set the ceiling at 8. I think they're still in that 7 to 10 window. I think that I think 9 and 8 would put them in contention. 10 and 7 is possible. We got to beat the Bears. We just got to beat the Bears, man.
Beat the Bears. But hey, if they get out to a hot start, 3-0, man, you know what? We can start talking division and playoffs.
We got Bears, Atlanta, and then who's week 3?
Yeah, not exactly the best teams there in the beginning. I don't have it in front of me.
Is it the Saints?
It might be. But you know what else I'm excited? Hey, I'm excited for I know you don't want to hear about Rodgers and the Jets, but this Hard Knocks has been pretty good. And I'm going to that Jets-Rodgers game. Now, is this a douche move if I wear a Rodgers jersey at the Cowboys-Jets game? My Packer Rodgers jersey. Is that a no-no? Is that a faux pas?
No, in fact, at the preseason game, I saw someone wearing a Favre Vikings jersey.
Well, those guys are just assholes.
So, but so much time has passed that he must just use that as his Favre jersey.
Okay. I think I'm going to wear my Rodgers jersey at the Cowboys-Jets game.
I think that that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bart, doctor's going to come in soon. So anyway, I just wanted to say hi.
There's no chance we get to see this live.
No. We're not going to. Hey, Brewers going for 10 in a row tonight. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. So, and I love the Tim Shea bit. What do we call him? Shea something?
Shakeaways.
Shakeaways. I love it. Love Tim Shea. Love Bart. And yeah, keep bringing it, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Tony in Texas. So good luck to him. And yes, get your prostate exam. That's the Packers roster. 53-man roster. Looks to be good. There's going to be some more moves that are made. There could be a trade. There'll be another guy that goes on the injured reserve. We'll see if and when that happens to bring the when that happens to bring the long snapper back into the fold. But I think there's, it's a bummer to see these guys get cut. A lot of them have taken to social media and almost been like, hey, look, here's what I can do. I got to tell you, it doesn't work. You end up being unemployed for a year and then, trashing John Kuhn on Twitter and then having the Kuniacs support you. A lot of people today say I brought too much politics into the radio show. Yes, I did. I do often feel bad about that because when COVID completely shut down sports, I tried to figure a way to bring sports back. And I understand that in and of itself was so political. And there was the interview I did with Jeff Pearlman on the USFL. And I mentioned Trump having a part in taking down the league, which is a fact. He wanted to move it. He couldn't be an NFL guy. He wanted to be an NFL owner. They wouldn't let him. So he tried to merge. Hey, maybe a smart move. Didn't work out. That's all we talked about. Didn't say anything else, but I spoke ill of God. So I would dispel those pushbacks. Now, am I a bitter loser in my basement that can't keep well enough alone? Yes. And those points are valid. And I will take those and wear that each and every day, but let's not be dumb about it. All right. So, hey, DeMar Hamlin speaking of vaxxed, DeMar Hamlin made the Bills roster. That's good to see him. He is a shoo-in now for comeback player of the year. I don't know how anybody else could win the award. The only other person that could win it is Russell Wilson, which you can't. Russell Wilson, how bad would he have had to be last year if he beats a guy who died for comeback player of the year? Well, on one hand, Russell Wilson was pretty shitty, but DeMar Hamlin almost died. But Russell Wilson was that shitty. Let's give it to him. So that's funny. Josh Donaldson cut. Baseball cut. Brewers? Maybe we'll have some fun with that later on. All right, so Packers 53 is out. No other real big surprises in the NFL. I think Taylor, I didn't expect him to get traded. It's kind of a bummer he's starting on the 53-man roster. Or on the PUP list, rather. That's kind of a bummer there. Do want to remind you, guys, I got a Survivor League. Splashsports.com. Just sign up. $20 entry. Winner take all. Be the last to survive. You get the money. So join up. Got about 30-some people in there. So that'd be about a $600 pot. Want to get that up. Want to get more people in so the pot's bigger for whoever wins. I do want people to sign up. I'm also if no one's going to hire me or even give me a phone call, I need to win that pool. So get in. Splashsports.com/Winkler. I believe I'll go live tonight after Brewers. I think that they deserve that from us. So I think I would do that. And in the meantime, have a good rest of the afternoon. I desperately need a shower. We'll talk to you soon.